there is a new creation in chapter 20 of According to Plan. So we just talked about the revelation of redemption in our other video, in our previous video or in our other video. You can check it out. We talked about the revelation of the redemption, and in this one we are also going to talk about the new creation, and I feel it's quite tied to the redemption. Yeah. So before we even start discussing it, Tracy, why don't you give us a short introduction or overview what you think about this chapter?
Yeah, so what popped out to me was when they define redemption as more than just a release from bondage, as shown in like God's many acts of salvation throughout history, and it's basically more like the promise of going into God's kingdom, and that is what redemption is.
Yeah. So, just like you said, it's not like just coming out of the bondage, but moving out of the bondage and entering into a new kingdom. And this new kingdom is what we are trying to liken or refer to as the new creation, right? Yeah. So, Darren, do you have any idea or anything to talk about this particular chapter before we dive deeper?
Yeah, I mean, I find it really beautiful how it all ties up together. It's like the conclusion, like when in the beginning, in the first creation, everything was perfect, and God made everything so beautifully. But when man and humanity fell into sin, we all moved away from that. But in this new creation, it's kind of restored, so everything is once again perfect, as fulfillment of God's divine plan.
Yeah, and throughout the history of the Bible story, this whole procedure of God has a covenant with mankind falls, God redeems mankind, and then sort of plants mankind into a new environment, a new kingdom. It keeps repeating itself. And for example, Adam fell, and then the people in the God's creation, I mean, there was a lot of things going on, and then he saved the world through the ark.
Yes.
Set up a new covenant with Abraham. There was this whole sort of decline or fall or bondage in in Egypt, and then he led them to a new land, the promised land. And now there was this whole new cycle again. There was a new kingdom. King David came, and then after King David, Israel spiraled down, and then he set up brought Jesus to save us, or save Israel, or save his people. And now this salvation or this redemption is not just limited to Israel, but then we, the non-descendants of David, we also get this whole salvation, and we have this promise of a new earth or a new creation, right? And that is just so amazing to think about. I believe, and it's a good thing to hold on to as a Christian, to keep you going.
You mentioned Adam, and it's very interesting because the first Adam failed, but the second Adam will succeed. And then the king of Jesus is the promised son of David. That's the new Israel, that is us. So it's like it's like being repeated and also fulfilled.
Anything to say, Tracy?
I like how in this chapter they also define covenant as a renewed covenant written on people's hearts, so that they truly will know the Lord and keep His will. Just this promised land where people live in fellowship with God. I think that's the ultimate goal as Christians.
As Christians. And it's a great thing to hope for, right? That eventually this earth or this earthly body that we have this earthly environment is all going to be transformed into a new creation, and this whole new creation is going to be His kingdom, right? It's something beautiful to hold on to as Christians. Yeah. Any other thing?
I think that's
We're
it.
good.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you, everyone.